feels like it is reflecting the process of life and then even the precariousness of that life, which then becomes visualized by the mudman being hit by the car. The initial movements of the hand growing and emerging from the mud and the ground were very strong, and I feel like I will carry those images for a very long time. I also really appreciated that larger wide shot where we see the mudman growing amongst the trees and the dance that was happening there, as it felt like the mudman was a tree himself. And so to me, those parts really stand out, and I think this is reflective of just the process of life.
At times, it sounds as if um, there is the woodwork, coming out of the sound. It sounds as if it's like a growing tree, or I don't know. There's such a eclectic nature aspect to it, and the way his body moves is so structured and um, goes with, like, almost, I think of a zombie like coming from the ground up, which is interesting considering how it ends here. And so we are given this man, the hair and makeup design does a great job in making him blend with the earth. It's very earthy here. There is such a presence to nature, whether it be the sequence of him growing from the ground up, his experiences as he's dancing by the water. And so this is such a experimental, eclectic take on Mudman. I think of times where people have, had storylines where you build a man from scratch, and what does that look like? And I think it's very, rather than having this religious aspect, so to speak, I think this is a more groundbreaking way to express how humans have developed from the universe.
On one side, I want to think it's about worshiping the ground below us, and another part of me wants to feel it's about how we treat our environment. Like it's to serve us, not what gives us life. Because as you know it, we're killing our land and harming what Mother Nature has given to us. We see this car, which we know is made out of toxic materials and harmful for the environment, plow through the innocent mudman, destroying him. Even the boy is disturbed by the presence of the mudman as he wanders alongside the neighborhood, treading the streets. I can't help but feel bad and sympathize for the mudman. It looked like he enjoyed into precision and careful consideration into all his steps and movements. It was beautiful, the dance and choreography, but he gets destroyed by a careless human being. I definitely feel like this is about treating our nature and land that was given to us with value and respect.
I like the non-verbal monologue. I like how the main character uses movement to express himself. I like how we see the character explore life, or at least the little that he did. There was definitely a trajectory to his experience and a sense of evolution to his character and journey. So it's overall very creative for a short.
It kind of shows that as human beings, we came from dirt and went back to dirt, dust to dust, right? This had gorgeous cinematography in it and a captivating score. It was something that was definitely different, but it was really unique where every single place was shot was carefully thought out, every single movement the mudman moved. It was very, very different, but you knew he was coming from the ground, but you really didn't expect that twist at the end for him to get hit and turn back to dirt, which kind of puts that he'll be repeating this over and over again for the rest of eternity, since dirt doesn't really die, I guess. So it's kind of the circle of life all in one film.
This kind of cracking to life, and there was such a beautiful blend um, of these two kind of concepts that are opposing, which I thought was really really lovely. It kept me very very intrigued. I was very very curious about how he was going to move, how the story was going to progress, and then to have him kind of break out of this nature, natural forest, and wander into what seemingly looked like suburbia, was not the direction I thought it was gonna go. So that was really, really interesting because then it forces the idea that this is, recent, that this is very modern. And then to see, the kid on the bike's reaction, and he's obviously trying to, kind of orient himself in the world, and then the car comes, which I thought was such a not fun, but such an abrupt, shocking way to end it. But then to have the little moment at the end where, it's just, mud on the street, I thought was really, really, again, I thought it was just really intriguing. I really liked it. I loved the evolution. I loved the kind of way he moved. I thought it was really dynamic. I thought it was really visually interesting.
Characters' movements are disturbing, and the story is quite intriguing. How did they come to life? What is it? What brought it to life? It was just very mysterious and cryptic. And then we have this extraordinary talented person with this movement, how they get to use their body to accomplish this very uncomfortable looking moves. It's just very, very extraordinary talent. And this being is totally unprepared for the modern world.
I really like the connection between the man in the mud, how he basically comes to life from the ground, and then he starts dancing and going around the wilderness, and we see him performing in different parts of this forest, this beautiful landscape that we have. The great connection between the nature and the dance here is fundamental, and is what really keeps you there